Senator Tommy Morrison never wanted to make politics a career. So after 3 terms, he's calling it quits. But he's proud of the body of work he'll leave behind, including securing funding sources for village road repairs and village sports facilities.
I'm very fortunate to be in this position. I never intended my work here to be seen that or give that perception that I'm going to make a career out of this. I ran on certain things. I definitely wanted to get in and work quick. It took me a few terms. I felt it's necessary after establishing the Office of Technology and getting these funding and resources down to the village levels with our mayors. I felt it's time that I step away and allow for new leadership to come in and bring their ideas to the table.
Morrison credits much of his success to a staff of 2, and he says his sports background as a local baseball and football standout helped him learn how to be a team player.
Baseball was a sport I loved, and I think a lot of the team building and working with others despite our differences, playing sports and had a lot to do with that, and attribute staying positive and staying calm and level-headed to a lot of that and coming from sports.
The Southern Senator from Umatic won't miss how ideas are put under a microscope, even if in the long run those ideas make a difference at the local level.
Getting scrutinized on legislation that I feel is necessary, such as the liquid fuels tax. And I didn't run on increasing taxes, but certainly I've seen through the budget process, the Director of Department of Public Works come down every time and making this request. He needs some resources so he can move forward with more projects in our village with regards to streets and road repairs. And this was my 6th year in office, seeing this constant request, and I just felt it was necessary to put it before the body and let's debate it. Let's see if our community can get behind this initiative. And as a result, we're seeing now the discussion or the conversation on with the media, with DPW. Instead of asking for money, you're now asking what's the next project.
Morrison says he'll be able to spend more time with the family, and he plans to pursue something in the private sector. He's always been interested in information and technology, and one of the pieces of legislation he's proud of deals with IT.
Legislation that created the Office of Technology, created the Chief Technology Officer's position, and now we have a roadmap going forward. My most recent legislation was to make that agency a standalone agency. It took 6 years, but here we are now. We have an Office of Technology where I feel the next administration, the next legislature, I hope will build upon this work. And when it comes to IT initiatives, that we now have a office that with the expertise going forward that will ensure that those initiatives are carried out in an effective manner for our government.
Morrison says newcomers to the legislature should realize party lines are meant to be crossed, and he notices the 34th legislature could have taken some inspiration from previous legislatures.
Reaching across the aisle is very important. I do miss the 32nd and the 33rd Guam Legislature. 34 is pretty bit rough, but it was expected with a lot of new faces coming in. But I think the 32nd and the 33rd really brought a lot of, there was a lot of maturity in there, and I think a lot of folks or colleagues in there saw that reaching out across the aisle was kind of simple to do, but at the same time it was a necessary thing to do in order to get our bills passed.
Morrison says people are surprised he's hanging it up after just 3 terms, but he said when he took stock of what he's been able to accomplish, he knew it was time to take a time out.
I get that constant, what are you doing stepping away? But I think the approach I took from the start to what I ran on, and measuring it in this term where I'm at definitely led me to feel it was time to step away.